Reaching retirement is a blessing and a curse. You can now live your life the way that you want to, but you also sometimes feel very sad and lonely and isolated. So I want to talk to you today about some ways that you can get some energy and passion into your retirement days and call on the expertise of the women in our 60andMe community who are all going through a similar process as you are. My name is Margaret Manning. I'm with 60andMe, and I want to thank you for being here. I appreciate your time. Hope that you're having a great day wherever you are. And if you're retired, I want to give you some inspiration from the women in our community about things they're getting up to and what is giving them, passion and purpose in their lives. Now, life after retirement can be anything you want it to be. This is the beauty of it. You've got freedom to do things that you have always, thought about doing, travel, spending more time with family, being more spontaneous with your activities. And you've actually got freedom from that daily routine of the alarm clock, getting up, going to meetings, and, all the things that you did when you had a career. But the women in the 60andMe community, we just asked them, what do you do to get more out of retirement? And they basically said a couple of very basic things, which was get out there, do the things that you want to do, go and explore the world if that's what you want to do, go and travel. Now, if you've got a budget concern, which a lot of women in retirement do have because they didn't save or they didn't save enough or they're not got an income coming in every month from pension or savings or a part-time job perhaps that they're doing. So they're limited, but you can do, there's a spectrum. If you don't have enough to go on a cruise, you can go on a trip by train or bus or, just do a road trip. Go to the next town. There are lots of, and people in our community gave all these examples. You can learn to relax. Basically do things that you want that are going to make it easier to relax, reduce some of the stress. You've got the freedom to work out more, to exercise, to get fit, to explore your neighborhood or your city, your world, and just enjoy relaxing about it. You don't have to stress anymore. Don't let yourself get bored, and don't let yourself get boring. That's kind of the advice that a lot of the women told us. So we said, what are your suggestions? Did you retire with a plan? Or you just sort of making it up as you go? That was one of the things that we asked our community. And many of them said, I'm just winging it. I'm just doing things as they come up. I got maybe a year plan, but honestly, that's part of the freedom for these particular people in retirement is that they don't have to have a plan. You don't have to have a whole schedule for your years 1 through 10, 60 to 70. You can just do what you like. So here's some of the things that people said, and I hope that you enjoy them. First was enjoy hobbies. I mean, there are so many hobbies that we squeeze into those couple of hours on the weekend or, when we're working that you can now do. Enjoy your hobbies and take time out with friends and family. Share your hobbies and your passions with your family and your friends. One lady said, breed French bulldogs and chihuahuas. Great passion if you love dogs. But that's the kind of thing, it can be so random, it can be so unexpected, but that's okay. Use my free bus pass. Go everywhere I can on the free bus pass. I know in London they have something called a freedom pass, and you can go on trains, buses, everywhere you want for free. It's really cool. I don't know about the big trains, like the long journeys, but short trips. It's really, really powerful that there are benefits for older people to travel. Another thing is, this is someone said fly on the seat of my pants, which I kind of was mentioning earlier. But there's also a group called Sisters on the Fly. Someone joined this group. Do you know it? It's a group of women who have caravans and kind of cars that have been converted into homes, and they just travel around the country. It's called Sisters on the Fly. And this person joined them and says, I'm having the time of my life. There's about 7,000 women now in that group, but you can check it online. And also in the article too, I'm just going to read you a few. There's so many here, but you can read them all at your leisure. When you check out the article. You can hang out at the library. You can just read books to your heart's content or go back to school. Some said I went back to school and got my degree. And if that's something you've always wanted to do, go ahead and do it. And then there's lots of people who just like spending time with their grandchildren. And they will spend every minute of their day with grandchildren. Some grannies, grandbabas, grandmas like to just have a couple of days a month or a week, but some people just love spending more time, especially if they've got multiple children and lots of grandchildren. They can move around. Another thing that a lot of people said they could do is they could get back into shape. Now, we all know that exercise and well-being is one of the main priorities of older women. Perhaps you agree with that. And, getting healthy is such an important part for your longevity. You want to live longer, happier, healthier. And one thing that a lot of people did was took up yoga. And I wanted to mention at this point that we've actually got 60andMe 3 different programs of yoga that are free. You can get them online and watch them as much as you want. There's gentle yoga. These are all filmed in Bali, by the way. Beautiful instructor, Kat Kavira, really cool. So there's gentle yoga. There is chair yoga. If I got that one, chair yoga, yes. And then I've got flows. These are like gentle yoga flows. But these 3 video series are on YouTube, free of charge. If you want to buy the DVDs, you can do that to have them at home yourself, but you can watch them online completely free. And so yoga was something that a lot of people said they got into. Yoga is good for your body, mind, and soul. Meditation reduces the stress, and the exercises are just fantastic for older bodies and younger bodies too. Many women in our community were teachers. And it was just a career that a lot of people went into. I didn't go into that particular field. I worked in books when I started my career in book selling. But teachers and nurses seem to be 2 of the big career decisions that people made. And both of those make benefit you in your retirement. Some people go back and substitute teach. One person works with first graders, like you can choose the age that you want to work with. And you can do volunteer work, of course, in the nursing business, and also just, hang out in places that you can be useful. I mean, there's hospice work, hospital counseling, so many opportunities if you've got a medical background or just an interest in helping in those areas. Other people say, go to the cinema anytime I want, read a book whenever I want. And these are the things that come, the freedom to do these things. Another person said, go to jazzercise, another yoga jazzercise option. Several people said, explore my spirituality. And I think this is something that a lot of people turn to when they get older. I don't know if you found that too, just wanting to have some time to reflect on the things you've experienced in your life and what's next. We know that there are fewer years ahead than behind, and probably many more than we expected ahead of us, by the way. But it's still time to think about your place and what you've done to contribute to the world, and how you come to peace with the fact that we are mortal beings, and that you've done a lot in your life, and there's things to prepare for. Many people said, I'm just reading from my list here, no plans, just enjoy life and the journey. Some people said caregiving was their next step, and we do have a lot of people now, their parents are in their 80s, 90s, and they need some help. And so caregiving can become an important part of your retirement strategy. And there's a lot of articles that we have written on this topic of caregiving. And I would encourage you to go out to 60andMe and check the search button, because honestly, there's so many great bloggers in our team that are doing an amazing job with this conversation about keeping your own sanity, but contributing to the caregiving in your family for one of your parents, or it could be an aunt or uncle. It could be just a relative who needs your help. Another thing, go back to school. And somebody said they went back to massage school, and something that doesn't take years and years, and will be 1 year of training. And there you've got an opportunity for a part-time or full-time job. And we've talked about this many, many times in our site, retiredifferent.com, which is all about retiring differently. And part of that is having an income source as well as your savings. So part-time work or paid volunteer work is great. Whatever you can do to, make a little bit of extra is important. Some people volunteer. One person said that they were a breast cancer survivor, and they now volunteer in the one of the charities for breast cancer. Nothing better than that, if you've been through it, to then be able to share with other women your experience and what helped. Some people move, some people relocate, and they go to places, like far and wide: Costa Rica, Belize, Ecuador, Portugal, and this is one of the dream things for many of our 60andMe women, and mentioned many times. What else? Oh, I keep myself busy with U3A, which is the University of the Third Age. I don't know if you know about this group, but it's online. They do programs like teaching, courses on all types of subjects, and it's free of charge if you're retired. and it's called 3UA. So, U3A. The link is in the article, U3A. And there's lots of, other courses like Coursera and Udemy and others that do online courses. But U3A is specifically for older people who are retired, and you can have a community feeling in there as well. And I think the other thing is this is not about aging gracefully. It's about aging your way. It's about aging passionately, magnificently, helpfully, with gratitude. I mean, there's so many ways to look at aging that don't involve having to have a definition of grace, being graceful or predictable or stereotypical. You just do what you want. And our 16Me community really did voice what they wanted to do after retirement. And it's so much fun. There's so many choices. So, are you retiring? Have you retired? What kinds of things are you doing to make your life meaningful and passionate and purposeful? Leave your comments in the section below. Let's have a chat. And don't forget to check out the yoga videos. They're really helpful and make good health part of your plan. But other than that, just enjoy whatever you choose to do in retirement. How to get more out of life in retirement. Take good care, everybody. We'll talk again soon. Bye-bye for now.